The Failures! Whoa, I'm Bando, and welcome back to the Bando and Woody Show. Woody seemed to have taken a powder in the bat room. Whoa, thank you, Doctor. Tonight, horologist Andrew Patrick.
It's horologist, Bando. And,
horologist
yes.
Andrew Patrick.
And I'd just like to say thank you very much for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
You are by far and away the best of the disembodied hosts out there. It's not often that I get to come out of the confines of my basement and talk to people about horror. My research keeps me pretty tethered to the place.
Much like our old friend Chester.
I'm not familiar with Chester.
Oh, you missed a class act there, my friend. Whoa. Tonight, Kevin of Dr. Caligari. What were your thoughts on that? Why was it quiet? What's going on?
Well, Bando, the movie originally premiered in 1919, and they hadn't brought sound into films at that time, so it's a silent movie, and that's why you didn't hear any spoken dialogue.
What's with the wacky backgrounds?
Well, if you know your history, 1919 is just coming out of World War I, and a lot of movie making was very real. There was a lot of realism being practiced, and Dr. Caligari was kind of the opposite of that. They went for a very insane, strange, surrealistic look with the film as in terms of their sets, costumes, and makeup.
Oh, what kind of director would direct a creature film like this? Oh.
The director was Robert Vine, but actually the producers approached Fritz Lang, first of all, who you may know from
Metropolis.
From Metropolis.
Whoa.
And although he declined the role of director, he gave them the idea of using a prologue and an epilogue to kind of offset the weirdness of Dr. Caligari.
Weirdness. Oh. What kind of doctor was this Dr. Caligari?
Well, actually, Bando, he wasn't really a doctor. He was a magician.
Wasn't a doctor?
He was a magician.
What about the zombie?
And I'm sure you're referring to Caesar. He was not a zombie. He was a somnambulist. And
what was he doing on our show?
Dr. Caligari used the somnambulist to murder various people.
Oh, I like him already. Oh. Well, thank you, Mr. Patry. We're heading off to a commercial. We'll be right back. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh.
Good evening. We are the failures of special guest drummer Dr. Boogans.
Before you left, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and more than a stare. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, said I cared. And if I would have, then I could have said I hate you. And if I would have, then I'd been on you. And if I would have, then I could have said the best thing I ever had. This is all, though it hurt so bad.
Whoa, thank you, Doc. Whoa. And now, back to horologist Andrew Patry. Whoa. Andrew, tonight's second feature is White Zombie.
Yes.
What? Tell me about this movie.
It originally premiered in 1932, and as you'll notice, there's sound in this movie. Still black and white, though.
Isn't Bela Lugosi in this movie?
He sure is, and yes, he was of Dracula fame, but a lot of people might not know that he was also offered the role of another famous movie monster, Frankenstein. And of course, Boris Karloff is credited with making that role famous, and Bela had to kind of bite the bullet on that one. He thought that the makeup, the extensive makeup, and the lack of dialogue was beneath him, and he declined that.
Fool!
Yes, I would say so.
What's with Bela's eyes?
Well, certain screen villains get known for particular parts of their anatomy. Bela's eyes were definitely that point for him. If you notice in Dracula, there's a lot of camera work on the eyes. Island of Lost Souls is another one, and in White Zombie as well.
Yeah, now were these real zombies?
Yes, they were, and this is where the power of his eyes come in again, because he's got some sort of satanic powers that enable him to control people like zombies.
What's with the crazy title, White Zombie?
White Zombie was actually the first time the word zombie was ever used in film, in the horror genre or any other genre. And of course, we know now that it's been used to death.
To death! Whoa! Why is this in black and white? Why are they all in black and white?
Well, I mentioned before that they haven't invented the color film processing yet. So
Oh, you're being nice to public access television. Oh, that's all we could afford. Now, to White Zombie. Thank you, Andrew. Oh, Doc. Oh.
Yeah. Just one more kiss and I'll keep hanging around till one of your pickups just brings me down. There's moments like this that keep me hanging around till the news breaks us to the ground. There's moments like this that keep me hanging around till the news breaks us to the ground. My arms were marching up against the hood, he fell down. You fell through, and I'm not hanging around. It's funny how nurses still make me now when we communicate static waves of sound. I've buzzed myself the time that you brought me down, but I'm still a slave to you and playing the clown. Just one more kiss and I'll keep hanging around until the bow breaks and we can crash it down. Take care, my Venus, turn and smile into a frown. I'm not hanging around, pick you from the ground, bring you up when you're down, play it straight when you're fooling around, and I won't be around, and I won't be around. Strike my guitar. Yeah, no, it'll still work. Still work. It don't work. That's it.
broke. Got to get a solder gun in here. Yeah, that's all right.
Welcome back to the Bando and Woody Show. As you can tell, Woody hasn't made it back yet. We're here with noted horrorologist Andrew Patry. Tonight, we're talking about Night of the Living Dead, our third movie on public access TV. What's with this dead thing, Andrew? Oh!
If there could be a theme for tonight's series of movies, it certainly would be zombies and the living dead. Living Dead, of course, is just a synonym for that. And we had a zombie in Dr. Caligari, had a bunch of zombies in White Zombie, and now we're going to have even more zombies in Night of the Living Dead.
Wasn't this movie made in 1969? Why black and white?
Yes, it certainly was made in 1969, and of course we did have color film at this time, but the producers that got the money together for this movie, in order to save money, they filmed in black and white because that is more cost effective. Also, just to mention that several of the producers, directors, and actors ended up juggling different roles. For instance, you may see director George Romero or
Cesar Romero?
no, George Romero,
Whoa.
or one of the producers in a role of a zombie on fire. They would do a role of a stunt person or a zombie, or a news. In this case, watch for George Romero as a news reporter.
Oh, and in this movie, the zombies eat people, don't they?
Yeah, as far as zombies go, normally they were just kind of these mindless creatures that just kind of shuffled along almost as if they were sleepwalking. Now they actually pose somewhat of a threat to human beings, to the living, and this film is way more graphic than any of the other two that we've shown tonight.
That's why it's rated Bando 13. Good night, parents. Whoa. And without further ado, let's head to the movie. Thank you, Mr. Patry. Whoa. Where did they get the zombies from?
Well, it's never really directly stated why we have dead people returning to life. One of the theories postulated in the movie is that a returning satellite from space brings radiation with it, and that's what causes the dead folk to rise again.
Didn't Tony Todd play the Candyman, the star in this movie?
Well, actually, Tony Todd did play in Night of the Living Dead, but not this. This is the original 1969 version.
Not again.
In 1990, they made a remake of this. It was color, and Tony Todd, who did play Candyman, plays the main character in Tom Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead. And Tom Savini worked with George Romero on Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, which are the two sequels to Night of the Living Dead, and trusted him with that he could do the job to recreate this movie for the 90s.
Radiation.
An interesting thing about the characters is our two main characters, played by Dwayne Jones and Judith O'Dea, were not cliche. Usually with horror movies, that's a big criticism many people have, is it gets too stereotypical, too cliche, same old characters. And for the time, we had a very strong lead black actor and a woman actor, and they were our two main characters. And it definitely did not end as people would expect. And when a normal movie-going experience, this just kind of turned all that on its ear.